On December 4th, 1872, a brigantine was found adrift in the Atlantic. Sails set, cargo untouched, yet utterly devoid of its crew. This isn't a forgotten tale. It's the legendary Mary Celeste, a vessel synonymous with inexplicable vanishing acts. We're cutting through the folklore and superstitions to examine the cold hard facts and the wildest theories, from sea monsters to Bermuda Triangle-esque anomalies, to finally understand what truly became of the Phantom Fleet. December 4th, 1872. The crew of the Dei Gratia spotted a ship drifting aimlessly in the Atlantic. When they boarded the Mary Celeste, they expected to find a struggle, a leak, or a tragedy. Instead, they found nothing. Welcome to the Mystery Lab. The Mary Celeste was in near perfect condition. There was plenty of food and water. The cargo was untouched. Yet Captain Benjamin Briggs, his wife, his daughter, and 7 crew members were gone. They left behind their pipes, their clothes, and their lives, vanishing into the vast blue. Today, we're looking for the one thing the Atlantic didn't wash away: the truth. For 150 years, people have guessed. Piracy? No. The ship's valuables and the 1,701 barrels of industrial alcohol were all there. Mutiny? Captain Briggs was a part owner of the ship and a respected man. The crew was handpicked. Insurance fraud? Briggs wouldn't have risked his wife and child for a payout, especially on a ship that was fully seaworthy. In the lab, we look at the data. If the ship wasn't taken and it didn't sink, why did they choose the ocean over the deck? Here is where it gets technical. The Mary Celeste was carrying industrial alcohol. When investigators later checked the cargo, 9 barrels were empty. Think about the physics. If those barrels leaked, the fumes in the cramped dark hold would have been overwhelming. A small spark, or even just the heat of the sun, could have caused a flash explosion, not enough to burn the ship, but enough to terrify the crew into thinking the whole vessel was a ticking time bomb. Combine that with a seaquake or a sudden waterspout, a common occurrence near the Azores, and you have a recipe for a panic abandonment. Imagine you are Captain Briggs. You hear a rumble from the hold. You smell the alcohol. You think the ship is about to blow. In a moment of extreme stress, the safety of the ship feels like a cage. He likely ordered everyone into the single lifeboat, tethering it to the main ship with a rope, intending to wait out the explosion. But then the wind picked up. A sudden squall. The rope snapped. Within seconds, the Mary Celeste, with its sails still set, would have glided away from them faster than they could row. They would have watched their only home disappear over the horizon, leaving them in a small boat in the middle of the Atlantic. The mystery of the Mary Celeste isn't about ghosts or sea monsters. It's about the terrifying moment when human logic fails in the face of nature's unpredictability. The most likely scenario? A leak, a scare, and a snapped rope. 10 lives lost to a mistake made in a moment of panic. If you were the captain and you smelled a potential explosion in the hold, would you have stayed on the ship or taken the boat? It's easy to judge from the shore, but the ocean doesn't give you a second chance. Let me know. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And if you're new to the lab, subscribe so you don't miss our next investigation. I'm Mauro, and the horizon is further than it looks.